have to pull the shade down just a hair. Hi there. I wanted to kind of hurry up a little bit to make this video. Here comes Romeo into the scene again. The topic of this particular talk is how to deal with depression. Now, there's lots of places where you can find out how to deal with depression. The possibility is that if you're depressed, you're not looking for those places. The reason I hurried a bit is I wanted to show you a bit of this beautiful California coastline where we're parked right now. It's just an absolutely awesome experience to be here. Like I say, if you're dealing with depression, you're probably not motivated to go look at things, but maybe you've been wandering through and you found my site. None of the stuff that I'm going to tell you is original with me. You can find it practically anywhere on the internet, to tell you the truth, or by talking to any physician or mental health practitioner. But I'll tell you what worked for me. I was at a point one time when I was very severely depressed. Probably the very best advice I ever got was from a fellow who was not a mental health practitioner. And he said, whatever it is you feel like you ought to do but you don't want to do, that's exactly what you should do. Get up off your butt and go do it. If you say, gosh, I really ought to mow the lawn, but yeah, I just don't feel like, go mow the lawn. You'll have a mowed lawn, and you'll feel like you've accomplished something, and you will have been distracted from your depression for a bit. That right there is probably the best advice I ever got. The other thing was exercise. I have a great deal of difficulty exercising by lifting weights or running around in circles or doing anything like that. But I could take a long walk. I could mow the lawn. I could go out and weed the garden, chop firewood, ride my bicycle to the store when I only needed a single thing that I could carry easily on the bicycle. I found ways to exercise that weren't just lifting weights or swimming from one end of the pool to the other. When I was down in Southern California, body surfing was a great way to get exercise. So anyway, exercise is very good. Also, make a list of the things that you're grateful for. Those of you who have asthma will understand when I say it is absolutely wonderful to be able to breathe freely and clearly and to enjoy that oxygen. If you don't have asthma, you will not understand how fantastic it is to be able to breathe. If you do, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's one thing you can be grateful for. Right now we have a beautiful sunset happening. That's something to be grateful for. The fact that you're not hungry at the moment is something to be grateful. There are hundreds, possibly thousands of things in your life that you can be grateful for. And if you're grateful, there's not room for depression. You cannot be depressed and feel grateful at the same time. You have to pick one or the other. Find things to be grateful for. It'll help. Also, when I was going through my major depression, I was driving along one day. I had a very long commute, 50 miles, 2 days a week. And I was driving along and I was going for the day, so it was early morning because I was doing regular business hours. It's beautiful. It's been kind of foggy, misty, and it's just beginning to lift, and it's golden hour, and I'm just, it's terrible. It was a 4-lane highway, and the lady next to me went driving past, and she was smiling. And I thought, oh, she's having a good day. And I thought, wait a minute. She's got the same day I've got. We're both experiencing the same morning. It is beautiful. Why don't I try and enjoy this morning like she is? That didn't end my depression by any stretch, but it was the beginning of the turnaround when I realized, hey, you can choose to enjoy what's going on as opposed to wallowing in your miserableness. I don't know if that's a whole lot of help to you. Those are the things that I was told, and those were the things that worked for me. By all means, if you are being depressed, go and look for other ideas, because there's plenty of them. I've covered only a very few here. Unless, of course, you want to stay depressed, in which case, don't do anything and enjoy being down for a good long while. Because depression actually, ultimately, is a matter of choice. You do have a way to get out of it if you work at it. That's all I have to say about that. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you next time. I thought about it, and I realized that if you're depressed, you can overreact to things. One of the things I said is depression is a choice. Mental health professionals will tell you that's a bunch of malarkey. What happens is first you become depressed, then you have biochemical changes in your body, and those biochemical changes keep you in that depressed state. So it isn't entirely a choice. If you're me, you can decide, I don't want to be depressed anymore, and you can do certain things, and you can slowly, very slowly, move out of your depression. Now, I only can speak for myself. I do not know what it's like to be someone else. But my understanding is, if you are someone other than me, the biochemical imbalance that exists within your body can cause you to remain depressed. And your only pathway out of that is to change that biochemical imbalance. Now, all of the things that I said, particularly, especially exercise, can change that biochemical imbalance. But also, there are neuroactive drugs that can help you. And if you're one of those people that can't just up and decide, I don't want to be depressed anymore, and work your way out of it, those drugs can be very helpful. To tell you the truth, I didn't try them. Probably stupidly. I could have, but I simply didn't go to somebody and say, hey, I'm depressed and can you do anything to help me? I figured, like I do with a whole lot of things, that I got myself into this mess and I can get myself out of it. As it turned out, I did. That's not necessarily the best approach. So if you're depressed, if you try the things that I've told you and they're not working, you absolutely need to seek the help of a medical professional, or specifically a mental health professional, and see if they can help you get better. So there you go. I hope I've corrected any misconceptions that have occurred, and no matter what comes or goes, depression ain't your fault. You got there because of events in your life. You need to get out of it, but it isn't because you screwed up. It's because, as they say, shit happens. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.